Joe Keppler was kind of the godfather of the scene, and Bill was the spiritual leader. Joe Keppler was kind of the godfather of all of us. So we'll hear now from Mr. Joe.
All right, come on.
Well,
Godfather of
Yeah,
soul.
Godfather.
Godfather of soul. Charlie, what are we gonna do? All right.
Joe and I are both Catholic boys, and so in the Catholic Church you drink wine, but in the Church of Inspired we drink whiskey.
Sounds good to me, fellow Catholic.
I'll read a couple bad poems that I wrote. I always thought that Bill would prefer that I read bad poetry. He always liked that better than if I tried to read good poetry. I don't know. He kind of liked it when I did that. So we would argue quite a bit, Bill and I. We had a very close relationship for many, many years, going back to the start of Red Sky. And then, you know, sort of time goes on and you go different ways. Bill decided to go to Japan and, and that was great. Really, that's a dream come true for him. And then came back and moved to Newburgh. And I stayed in Seattle and, I didn't really travel that much to Newburgh or places. I don't even like to go to Bellevue. I think I need to go to Bellevue. So Newburgh,
As kids, Joe, you can't go that far though, as kids.
Yeah, exactly. I was like a Polish immigrant with my kids. So I didn't travel much. But I'll read a couple bad poems, and I'll read a very good poem. And they're all somewhat referencing to death and life. This one's called Worker Romance. Oh calendar, what happened to me? What happened but me? Something's going on, and I feel funny like it's about me, but no one can say what it is really. I'm okay, all right? No, really, I'm fine. What time do you have? Who I am is what I'm good for. What I'm good for, I don't know. I need to go. I barely go. I need a tool, a ruler, the triangle, unusual feeling. Feeling usual feeling, I live in my body measure. I'm on my feet when walking, where I go with all about me. Around me I go number to number. I don't know why. I number when and what I do. I have no idea but a thing or two. My work be done, no matter what. I have my body, me. I have a body about me. I do more than you know. And you know this is where I get ugly. Blinds block, dawn's light. Routine procedure, predatory pay. I say, you know what? I got a good job. I grieve, I hope, I sleep, I wake, I lie. My Seattle more than Jerusalem, I love. More than New York, Rome, Tokyo, or Rio. Why? Why is my love what is not love? Crow, curve above, over my city. For every then, a nowhere, everywhere. Too bright, too fertile, too lethal, the faraway sun. We turn together to face our universe. We get what when we work the truth? We get what we get when we work the truth. How intimate I am with having and having nothing to say and saying it. To love you, you who love not, today, love today, today, tomorrow, love tomorrow, tomorrow. What'd you do last night? Color and sound pour from a bottle into a cup. Tourists, cameras, and coffee gathered together. The 9 p.m. ferry will tomorrow dawn on the cafeteria we now leave behind. We back away from one pier to maneuver among islands to another. We ply through deep, surfaceless night, our seas glittering our star-filled sky, while we ache to feel another beauty, the beauty of being in love, the beauty of God. Another bad poem here, and then I'll read a good one.
What was this about?
Well, thanks, you're too kind. If we're nice to you, reveal yourself. They didn't call. They never call. They didn't work. They never work. They don't have what I have. The me they don't have, I have. If they analyze you, reveal yourself. Naturally, be biography, story, theory. You be me, you be you, and me, me. You always live only you. Will you be who you are tomorrow? Be born, go out, be there, go back. I was a being introduced the other day to tell them we're not doing too well. Apparently people think we got it made, and that all that we do doesn't have to get done. And we know that. We don't do anything about it, we who are. The reason I bring that up doesn't matter. I'm unimportant like them. I like me my way. Who I am is who they say I am. And this who is nice too. This who I say I am. Who am I thinking I am? I'm moving left to be nicer than you. I pretty much made my mind up. I'm unsure though. I will be me. Do we know we are who we are? You believe me, I believe me. We make me up. Someone like you, I like me to be. We think, you and me. Usually I turn around and there you are. How far away are you there? Now gone. If not, never ends. World without end, we end. Maybe what we are, we're poetry. I'm so dumb. I'm not all right. I get nothing from my analyzing. I know I'm probably not okay. I didn't think I would work out my way. Enough with the bad poetry, and here's a rather phenomenal poem from a poet who died over 1,000 years ago. Also contemplating death and nature and why we are. It's Sun Tong Po's prose poem on the Red Cliff, which is a large mountain, Chinese mountain above the Yangtze River. And I thought, those love of the Asian, Japan and China and so forth, I read this. So this is the first prose poem from Sun Tong Po on the Red Cliff. In the autumn of the year Jinsu, the 7th month when the moon had just passed its prime, a friend and I went out in a small boat to amuse ourselves at the foot of the Red Cliff. A fresh breeze blew softly across the water, leaving the waves unruffled. As I picked up the wine jar and poured a drink for my friend, I hummed a poem to the moon and sang a phrase on its strange beauty. In a little while, the moon rose from the eastern hills and wandered across the sky between the archer and the goat. White dew settled over the river, and its shining surface reached to the sky. Letting the boat go where it pleased, we drifted along the immeasurable fields of water. I felt a boundless exhilaration, as though I was sailing on the void or riding the wind, and didn't know where to stop. I was filled with a lightness, as though I had left the world and were standing alone, or had sprouted wings and were flying up to join the immortals. As I drank the wine, my delight increased, and thumping the edge of the boat, I composed the song that went, with cassia sweet and oars of orchid moon, strike the empty moon, row through its drifting light. Thoughts fly far away. I long for my loved one in a corner of the sky. My friend began to play on an open flute, following my song and harmonizing with it. The flute made a wailing sound, as though the player were filled with resentment or longing, or were lamenting or protesting. Long notes trailed through the night like endless threads of silk, a sound to make dragons dance in hidden caves, or to set the widow weeping in her lonely boat. Saddened by his playing, I straightened my robe, bowed, and asked, "What makes you play that way?" He replied, "The moon is bright, stars grow for you, crows and magpies fly to the south." That's how Chow Chow's poem goes, doesn't it? There you can see Kao to the west, Wujiang to the east, a dense tangle of dark green bounded by mountains and river. This is the very spot where the young Zhou Yu swooped down on the Zhou, isn't it? After Zhou had conquered Qing and taken Qingliang, he sailed down the Yangtze to the east. The stems and sterns of the ships touched for 1,000 miles, and his flags and pennants blocked the sky. He drank wine overlooking the river, laid his lance across the saddle, and wrote his poems. Surely he was the greatest hero of his time. Yet where is he now? What then of you and me, fishermen and wood gatherers by the banks of streams, companions to fish and crayfish, friends of deer and elk, riding this leaf of a boat, dipping gourds into the wine jar and pouring for each other? We are no more than summer flies between heaven and earth, a grain of millet on the waste of the sea. It grieves me that life is so short, and I envy the long river that never stops. If we could only link arms with the flying immortals and wander where we please, embrace the moon and grow old with it. But I know that such hopes cannot quickly be fulfilled, and so I confide these lingering notes to the sad air. I asked, "Do you know how it is with the water and the moon? The water flows on and on like this, but somehow it never flows away. The moon waxes and wanes, yet in the end it's the same moon. If we look at things through the eyes of change, then there's not an instance of stillness in all creation. But if we observe the changelessness of things, then we and all beings alike have no end. What is there to be anxious about? Moreover, everything in the world has its owner, and if a thing doesn't belong to us, we don't dare take a hair of it. Only the clear breeze over the river, or the bright moon between the hills, which our ears hear as music, our eyes see beauty in, these we may take without prohibition. These we may make free with, and they never be used up. These are the endless treasures of the Creator, here for you and me to enjoy together." My friend was pleased, and laughing washed the wine cups and filled them up again. But the fruit and other things we had brought to eat were all gone, and so, among the littering cups and bowls, we lay down in a heap in the bottom of the boat, unaware that the east was already growing light. Thank you.